Do you know that I start my day thinking about how blessed I am to be able to wake up in freedom? Every day I think about the hostages, and I take a moment to imagine how they are waking up. Every day. I don't dedicate it to any one hostage because, I know all the names after a year and I know their faces, but it's to everybody. How is this one waking up? How are they coping? How are they sustaining their survival? We've heard Andrei Kozlov share how he would have a mantra that he would say every day that would give him strength. Today I am alive. What other tactics do they have to sustain their strength under this terrible time? And then there's the soldiers who are out there fighting, facing things we civilians cannot really understand. And then they have to come home, and they want to come home, and they want to see their families, but nobody understands them and what they've experienced, and how every sound is a trigger, and how they don't have the bandwidth inside to also try to divide their mind from the terror and work. And, there's a whole theory that outsiders cannot understand, but these are the kinds of experiences, the Jewish experiences, that we need to understand, even if we can't reach it. We need to try. We need to put our hearts deep into that existential experience, the phenomenon that they are going through. And we need to just breathe with it. We may not do something great and, okay, how do I channel this? No, it could be that it's just inside of each one of us, because that is what keeps their spirit strong. Hashem can feel our connection and carry it to them in their darkness. And that is why when we light our candles on Shabbat, on Hanukkah, throughout the year, leaving our empty chairs and donating to the soldiers' units, when we do our small acts and our grand ones, we are internalizing their experience, and we are giving it justice. It took us over 80 years to really appreciate the experience of Holocaust survivors. And maybe now we can uncover elements of their experiences that actually were not spoken about because they were taboo. So much of that pain and trauma, nobody wanted to hear it, and there was no language with which to speak. So now that we are able to identify, attempt to be witnesses for these hostages and these soldiers, the complete dichotomy of Jewish experience, one of heroism and one of helplessness, and we the civilians, we Am Yisrael, we the virtual citizens of Israel all over the world who join us, those of us who are here living the fight for the survival of the Jewish state and the Jewish people. We are the nation that God has blessed then and continues to bless now. And we deserve it because we put our collective heart to work, and we find ways to imbue within our days, in our conversations with our children, some sort of reminder, some sort of message that says, don't forget how privileged we are, because the wave may grow and become worse and affect more, and there may be more fallen and there will be more suffering, but we know we are on the side of good, and we can do good even with the pain that this reality causes us. Every morning I wake up and I see my flags, the top being flown since October 8th, 2003. And here we are, entering 2025. The top one being flown since October 8th, 2023. And the bottom having been added only after Rosh Hashanah already fraying at her edges as well. These flags, they are the symbol that the hostages, those who are alive, they are fighting with every ounce of their spirit. Those Jews around the world who are fighting anti-Semitism, you're fighting with every ounce that you can. And if you're not, you can do more, because you can join those soldiers, the soldiers and their families, their wives, their children, who are fighting a completely different battle. Those who are still displaced, living in hotels or temporary refuge, wherever they may be in the country. And thank God that this country is here to provide. Every day we wake up and every day we go to sleep with these thoughts in our minds. Let's never let that stop, because that is a part of what never again, never forget must mean, that we connect people to people. That's what Israel Forever is about, touching your heart as a person. That's all I want, is for each one of us to realize that the hostages and their families, and the soldiers and their families, and you and your families, we are one. We have to live that. Whoa. I actually just heard that it's pouring down rain in Tel Aviv. But the missiles from the Houthis in Yemen continue to fall, and they continue to have random firing of missiles north, south, Judea, Samaria. The fight's not ending, but we're going to uncover the terror. We are going to bring the hostages home. We must. God will make it happen. Shuvi et shvutechem be'enechem. He will. We have to believe. And we can believe by identifying with their human experience and understanding that what combines us in our strength is that emunah, that faith. I hope you find a moment for yours, morning, noon, night. May it be a blessed festival of lights for everybody. And may the light carry onward.